I love both these phones, and it kind of pains me that I gotta pick a winner. I've had a soft spot for Samsung phones really since the Note 7 pre-recall, smoking, batteries exploding, everything else. And I've admittedly been tough on OnePlus, but I've been spending the better part of 2 weeks with their latest, the OnePlus 6, and I straight up love it. Not just like love it for its great value, I mean love it like a daily driver regardless of price. And I feel like this versus is like picking a favorite child, but in this case, no one's getting a runner-up trophy. One of these two will win. It's time for the Galaxy S9 Plus to get some real challengers. This is the OnePlus 6 versus Galaxy S9 Plus. So I'm gonna make this versus a bit different than in past videos. Not only am I gonna be picking a winner, there'll be no cop out. I'm actually picking a winner for me. I've been torn on which one of these I want to use as my own phone. So throughout this process of battling these two, I'm just gonna pick my next daily driver, and in the process, hopefully help you pick your next phone. So the breakdown here is essentially a video version of the debate that I've got going on in my head when I decide what phone I want to use. That also means some things that may be important to you aren't here. I didn't go too much into camera, for example, since both are just good enough for my use. There will still be categories, and since I'm going to actually be using the winner here, there's a bit more emotional thought and less sort of pragmatic approach than previous verses. These are the categories that are most important to me. That's enough intro. Let's just get right to it. Alright, so let's start with the new category, updates. Android software updates on phones not named Pixel is a giant pain in the butt. Usually when Google pushes updates, they go out to the manufacturer first, then once they're done adding their own whatever stuff to it and testing it, the updates then go out to the carrier who do their own form of testing and then decide what they want to push and when they want to push it to users. So that means that carrier phones like the Galaxy S9 Plus take forever to get updates if they ever get it, but they are generally pretty stable and secure when they eventually make their way to their phones. OnePlus though sells their phones unlocked, so the carrier part's fully taken out, and OxygenOS is pretty damn close to stock Android, so updates are way faster. In fact, the OnePlus 6 is one of the few devices that Google allowed in the Android P beta, so maybe it's just foolish to want all the updates as fast as I possibly can, but this is a clear edge to the OnePlus for me. I want my updates fast, I want to test the latest, and I want it now. OnePlus is definitely taking this category. So display, and I've gone on record saying display is the most important part of a phone to me. It's gotta look good for me to enjoy using it. And it would be super dismissive to just give this category outright to Samsung. Beyond any doubt, their Super AMOLED panels are the best in the business, even if you don't like how they oversaturate stuff. The display gets crazy bright and movies, games, whatever, just look awesome. This is not a surprise. I've talked about this in a ton of videos. What was a surprise though is actually how good the 6.3-inch 1080p optic AMOLED panel is on the OnePlus 6. And I've bagged on OnePlus pretty hard in the past for subpar displays and even maybe installing them backwards, but they nailed this one. It's OLED, so blacks are black, color reproduction is super good, video looks great. It's probably the best 1080p panel that I can remember testing. But just due to the sheer number of pixels, when held up next to the Galaxy S9 Plus, you can definitely see a crispness difference. The display was closer than I thought. It's going to Samsung, but battery is next. I'm pretty hard on my phone, so screen on time is crazy important to me, especially when I'm going to be using a phone as my daily driver. So while that 1080p panel I just talked about on the OnePlus 6 isn't quite as good as Samsung's, the trade-off for sharpness is killer battery life. In fact, the S9 Plus is bigger at 3,500 milliamp hours, but when you factor in how many fewer pixels it's pushing and that power efficiency that you get with the Snapdragon 845, I'm getting close to 7 hours of screen on time and battery life that easily gets me through a single day and almost 2. Dash charging is still the fastest that I've seen from 0, but quick charge on Samsung is still pretty damn fast too. I do wish OnePlus had wireless charging. The OnePlus battery life is king. It definitely takes this round and a little bit of my heart. And so now we're gonna talk about aesthetics and feel, and you can call me superficial, but I want a phone that's gonna look good and I want a phone that's gonna feel good. Maybe it's not that important to you, but it's close to top's priority for me. And it's kind of weird, but if you close your eyes and you can hold both of these phones in your hand, they feel almost identical. The design of the Galaxy S9 Plus is familiar, but at this point it's almost perfected. The round edges and glass back just scream premium. Although I did opt to put a D-brand skin on it to protect the back instead of a case. The OnePlus's wedge shape makes it feel thinner than it actually is, and it's got an amazing weight distribution, which is a weird thing to even notice. It's also rocking a glass back as well, like the S9 Plus, and I don't want to risk cracking it. And I also really dig the marble D-brand skin look. If you like the aesthetics of these, I'll link to them down below if you want to check them out. I really didn't think any phone could feel better to me than the S9 Plus, but the more I used the OnePlus 6, the more it appealed to me. And this was as shocking as anything else in doing this video. I'm picking the OnePlus 6 here, which should really say something to you considering how damn good looking and good feeling the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus is. Alright, so Intangibles. This is kind of a holdover from previous verses. These are the little squirrely bits that don't really fit into any category but matter. Some of these might be more important to you than me, but when I decide what phone I want to use, these definitely matter. And the Samsung pretty much has it all. Stereo speakers, IP68, expandable storage, wireless charging, it's got a headphone jack, Samsung Pay, a Snapdragon 845, 6 gigs of RAM that pretty much checks every single flagship box you can think of, while still not having a notch. So on the OnePlus side, it's no slouch either. I adore OxygenOS and I love the tweaks that it's got in it, even if the gestures aren't smooth. It's got a red color that's amazing you can pick up. It does have a notch, but it's got awesome software features to customize it. It's got dual SIM, but it's lacking a lot of things like any official IP rating, wireless charging, expandable storage. Its portrait mode isn't that great, and it's got a lousy single downward firing speaker. So not one of those alone is like a category winner. When you put them together, Samsung definitely takes this. I'm gonna stop here to recap the categories that were important to me. Updates: OnePlus display went to Samsung, battery OnePlus, aesthetics, which was a surprise here, went to OnePlus, intangibles went to Samsung. That gives me a surprise winner, and I think an even more surprising new daily driver, the OnePlus 6. I adored this phone during my testing. I loved the way the phone felt, the way the phone performed, the way it looked, and the fact that it comes in at a $529 starting point is even more incredible. So I get that OnePlus had to make cuts to get to the price point. I think the cuts they made are totally justified. Things like wireless charging, I can deal without. Things like, and it's not the best portrait mode, I can deal with. Expandable storage, not an issue for me. I get why they did it, and even forgetting the price point, what you are getting is a flagship killing phone at an incredible price. This can go head to head with any flagship, no matter how much it costs. You can get in different colors, you can pay more to get up to 8 gigs of RAM. You can find the right version of the OnePlus for you. For me, it's the red one because I just love the red color. But hats off to you, OnePlus. And if you're deciding what phone you want to get and you want to go Android, I really think look no farther than the OnePlus 6. So this is a bit of a different style of versus, a bit more personal. If you like the style, let us know down below. I'd kind of love to hear. If you agree or disagree, I also want to know. These verses always spark some intense fanboy debates. But either way, please give the video a thumbs up. We always appreciate it, and all the other stuff that YouTube makes us do because I don't send notifications anymore. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when new videos are coming up. We have more versus videos coming. We've got a brand new website we just launched called The Nerdy, where we're covering all kinds of nerd and geek culture. Hope you check that out. Until next time, I'm John Ranger from TechnoBuffalo.